did he invite her here?
Oh, why does that bother you?
She's been in New York 3.5 years. Why all of a sudden?
Well, maybe you just wanted to see her.
Nobody comes 700 miles just to see.
What are you talking about? He grew up next door to the girl. Why shouldn't he want to see her? Oh, don't give me that look. He didn't tell me anything more than he told you.
He's not gonna marry her.
How do you know he's even thinking of it?
It's got that about it.
Well, so what?
What's going on here, Joe?
Now look.
She's not his girl, Joe. She knows she's not.
You can't read her mind.
Then why isn't she married? New York is full of men. Why is she still single? Probably 100 people told her she's foolish, but she's waiting.
Well, how do you know why she waited?
Because she knows what I know. That's why. She's as faithful as a rock. In my worst days, I think of her waiting, and I know again I'm right.
Look, it's a nice day. What are we arguing for?
Nobody dares take her faith away, Joe. Strangers might, but not his father, not his brother.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
I want you to act like he's coming back. Both of you. Don't think I haven't noticed you since he's invited her. I won't stand for any nonsense.
But Kate,
because if he's not coming back, I'll kill myself.
I'm Michael Menendian, producing artistic director here at Raven Theater, and also the director of our production of All My Sons. All My Sons was written by Arthur Miller in 1946, produced on Broadway initially in 1947, so you can see that it takes place immediately after World War II. It takes place in a sleepy suburban community somewhere in the heartland of America. And it takes place also in the backyard of the Keller family's residence. Joe Keller is the father who runs a factory that during the war made airplane parts. And we also find out during the course of the play that he and his partner had shipped out faulty cylinder heads that caused 21 pilots to die.
The character I played, Joe Keller, is the head of the Keller family, and we did have two sons in the war. Both of them served in the war. One of them came home and one of them didn't. And
but he's missing in action. He's not necessarily gone.
We're not sure what happened to our son Larry. Our other son Chris does make it back from the war.
He actually survived, whereas a lot of the men that he was in command of did not. And so he feels a mixture of guilt and responsibility from that. Like, if I'm here, they bought my way, and I need to make sure that I live my life accordingly. And slowly but surely, he allowed himself to give in to the feelings that he's had for Annie, that he's pushed down all his life.
She grew up next door to the Kellers and was engaged to Larry, the missing son, who's been missing for 3 years.
Chris invites Ann to come and see him in their home, and Ann used to be Larry's girlfriend, but she starts corresponding with Chris, and they develop this long-distance relationship until she comes to visit, and the mother is extremely unhappy about this because she's still holding out hope that Larry is alive somewhere, and therefore Ann should be waiting for Larry just like she is.
He's a great guy, isn't he?
You're the only one I know who loves his parents.
I know. Went out of style, didn't it?
It's all right. It's a good thing. You know, it's lovely here. The air is sweet.
You're not sorry you came?
Not sorry, no, but I'm not going to stay.
Why?
In the first place, your mother as much as told me to go.
Well, she's...
You saw that. And then you've been kind of...
What?
Well, kind of embarrassed ever since I got here.
Trouble is, I plan on sort of sneaking up on you over the course of a week or so, but they take for granted that we're all set.
I knew they would. Your mother, anyway.
How did you know?
From her point of view, why else would I come?
While he was overseas serving, he thought of Ann a lot, and there was a lot of this guilt of, that's my brother's girl, and what am I doing? And so he pushed it all down, but when news came about Larry's disappearance, and once Chris was over that and processed it, which was a lot faster because he was in war and he lost men, you get used to that. Ann became a much more prevalent thought in his mind, almost kind of like a light during dark times. I guess you know this is why I asked you to come.
I guess this is why I came.
Ann, I love you. I love you a great deal. I love you. I have no imagination. That is all I know to tell you. I'm embarrassing you, aren't I? I didn't want to tell it to you here. I wanted to go someplace where we've never been before, a place where we'd be brand new to each other. You feel it's wrong here, don't you? In this yard, in this chair. I want you to be ready for me, Annie. I don't want to win you away from anything.
Chris, I've been ready a long, long time.
Then he's gone forever. You're sure?
I almost got married 2 years ago.
Why didn't you?
You started to write to me.
You felt something that far back?
Every day since.
Annie, why didn't you tell me?
I was waiting for you, Chris. Till then you never wrote to me, and when you did, what did you say? You sure can be ambiguous, you know.
Give me a kiss, Annie. God, I kissed you, Annie. I kissed Annie. How long have I been waiting to kiss you?
On the surface, it seems like it's an ordinary story with extraordinary consequences. And that's what's always drawn me to Arthur Miller, his ability to have situations where the truth is buried deep down and bubbles to the surface in a way that becomes inevitable for all of the major characters involved and what the consequences of those truths are. Arthur Miller is, as we know, is one of the great playwrights of the 20th century, and he has a knack for finding ordinary situations that become extremely filled with tension and conflict due to circumstances beyond these ordinary people's lives.
We've been in 3 Arthur Miller plays as husband and wife together.
And it's given us an opportunity to explore these marriages and the ups and the downs and the joys and the sorrows.
People often think of All My Sons as a classic Greek tragedy taking place within the course of 24 hours with the arc of the story and the dynamic ending. I found this to be more of a biblical parallel this time around. It deals with issues of betrayal and the golden rule of doing unto others, and some of the other elements that I found to be almost like a parable that you might read in a modern Bible if that existed. And I find that those qualities make it fascinating in terms of Miller's take on society and the whole concept of the unintentional consequences of war and how that affects people in ways that one might not necessarily predict.